Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Another attack on another refinery conducted by supposedly the Ukrainians, helping Al Capone eliminate competition, economic competition around the globe, which is oil and gas, at least starting with that one, and the military equipment. So how do you do? Well, you ban your allies, or in this case Europe, from buying the product because they're bad dudes. And you know what? I'm going to provide you with some product close to that one, but much more expensive. So that's what the Europeans did with their sanctions. They actually eliminated the Russian cheap gas and oil from their market, and they start buying American gas, liquefied natural gas, by helping, because those guys are bad. So what happened here? These guys, the Ukrainians, are destroying Putin's war machine, because if they destroy Putin's source of income, therefore Russia will collapse, will strangle Putin, and we will be all happy under Pax Americana. That's how the story goes. Well, we know how Pax Americana worked between 1991 and 2024. Yeah, they were in the process of bringing it, but this is a continuous Pax Americana right now. You know, the countries invaded, bombarded, it didn't follow orders and all that. Yeah, okay. So, what do we have here? Let's look on this little article from Ukrainska Pravda. I have an article and two maps to show you where this occurred. Ukrainska Pravda, attack on oil refinery in Volgograd carried out by drones of Ukraine's security service. Photo and video. We're not going to play the video because of YouTube has always problems. They allow CNN to play the video on YouTube and other garbages, but if I play the video, they have a big problem with that. Not copyright, but somehow, they protect you from viewing my video provided by CNN video or whatever. It happened many times before. Now, Volgograd was Stalingrad at one point. You remember Stalingrad? That's where it's at. I just show a picture. I'm not gonna go deeper into that. The fire on 3 February at one of Russia's largest oil refineries in Volgograd was the result of a successful attack by Security Service of Ukraine SSU drones. The source noted that 2 drones hit the primary oil refining unit, without which the plant will lose a significant part of its production capacity. All right, so the United States now will get the market Russia is avoiding. Oh, United States, they don't have, they're sucking their own strategic oil reserves. Oh, I forgot about it. Yeah, global warming. Climate change. Yeah, from season to season. The SSU continues to systematically destroy the infrastructure used by Russia to wage war in Ukraine. That's how the story goes for the baboons. For us, no, it's an economic war between the United States of America and the rest. Or not the United States of America, some companies that are located or registered in the United States of America, or some companies that are not even registered, but they control the military of the United States of America. They're in the same club. So basically the USA's military is used as a bodyguard, as a thug who goes around the neighborhood, the city, and asks for protection. That's what the United States is right now, used by someone else, by another guy, by other guys actually, in charge of, or trying to get in charge of us, more than they are. So this is military, but we pay for the bodyguard. We pay for this thug going around and beating up people for the protection, to pay up. Isn't that sweet? So you have someone doing your dirty job for you, and someone else is paying. Like, let's get the Middle East conflict. Someone has the United States, again, beating up the neighbors for the profit, and he's not even paying, but on the contrary, the bodyguard is paying the master to go and beat up for the master. It's so ridiculous. So you got the master, Al Capone, let's say. Nah, in this case, not Al Capone. Those guys over there, I can name them. They're about what? You know them. So they're over there, and they hire the bully boy, which is United States of America, but bully boy pays for the services. So you hire someone to go and ask for protection. He goes and beats up everybody, but he pays for that, for those services. You don't pay. On the contrary, and the bully boy pays you to defend yourself. Oh man, this is even, it's like, man, unbelievable. I can give you more examples, but hey, let's move on. By attacking oil refineries that work for the Russian military industrial complex, we not only cut off the logistics of fuel supplies for enemy equipment, but also reduce the filling of the Russian budget. The explosions at Russian refineries will continue. Well, that's true, partly true. This is half true. In the same time, you destroy revenue that comes to the country, to the Russian citizens. But the point is this, you want that to happen, so the Russians will have a worse standard of living, so they start having problems, and economic problems. When the citizens will start having economic problems, it's easier to ignite a regime change through spontaneous demonstrations. And they hope that they're going to surround the Kremlin and they're going to pull a Gaddafi on Putin. That's the whole thing. So yeah, we destroy the military-industrial complex, but the country, the citizenry, well, we don't care. Why? Because they probably are also guilty for having Putin over there. And not Putin, but here in the United States of America, no, we don't do that way. We're not responsible of the crimes those guys do in our name using our military. You see how things are? Triple, quadruple, standard, not double. That's how these guys use. Let's move on. It's a video here I'm not gonna play. I'm afraid to play with these guys, but let me see something. Okay, I watched the video. It's just a little explosion in far, far away, which, as I said, these guys from YouTube will have a problem with, so I don't take a chance. I want this video to get to you. According to Reuters, these attacks reduced Russian exports of oil products by almost a third. So less competition. The problem is that the oil will jump because you have this demand, and if you don't have the same supply, or at least, you have a little bit more, then people compete. But if you have a little bit less, the price goes up, because it's 5 people wanting 4 products, or 5 people wanting 1 product, or not wanting, needing 1 product, instead of 5 people needing 6 products. So 6 products available for 5 people, we can have a margin of negotiation. But if you have 5 people needing 3 products, we're going to fight like crazy for those 3 products, don't you think? That's what they're doing, idiots. But anyway, and who's going to pay? We're going to also pay, because we're going to be one of those 5 people fighting for the 3 products. Background: a fire broke out in Russian city Pop. It says with petroleum products burning over an area of 300 square meters. That's nothing. But anyway, if you hit the right thing, that's something else. Now, this is Volgograd. This is Stalingrad. This is where the frozen Volga was, and when the Soviets were bringing over the Volga, they were bringing supplies here. They were located on this side, and they were crossing here. The Germans. This is the town, the city. And if I remember correctly, the front was broken down here in the south, where actually was the end. The turning of the Second World War was happened in this area right here, when the Ukrainians were involved, but on this side right here. When the Soviets broke the front here, and they went here, and they broke down here, and met around and surrounded this like a link, and it was it. And then Marshal, Paulus came and said, yes, I surrender. And Adolf had an apoplectic attack, because Adolf, promoted General Paulus in Stalingrad to a marshal level, rank, because no German marshal surrendered or capitulated up to Paulus. So he said, you're a marshal now. We promoted him, hoping that Paulus will do like everybody else in the past. But he didn't. So that's why Hitler was like, shh. Anyway, so this is, let me show you a bigger map here, further from this. And I'm going to have another map too. So here is Volga, flowing into the Caspian Sea here. And then you have the Black Sea here. You have the Sea of Azov. And this is Ukraine here. Whatever is part of Ukraine here. And I'm going to show you this map here. So this is Ukraine. Volgograd is somewhere back here. We don't see it. It's not right there somewhere. It's right here, but you don't. It's right where my hand is, my strong hand. And on this map, so you have another view. Volgograd is. Let me just make it bigger. All right, Volgograd is down here. This, they call it elbow, Volga's elbow. I don't know if that's the translation, but this is Kotul Donului. Donul is right here. Kotul Donului, but this is Volga. And goes into the Caspian Sea. This is Ukraine. So the drones operated here. Not far from the front, but still, I mean, these are, I would say, 1,000 kilometers straight line, should be. Yeah, there is. So anyway, the Ukrainians had the ability to do that. And remember, they try to tell the baboons that it is for Putin. Yeah, it also gets revenues out of military coffer. That's true. But if you look at what's going on in Europe, and not only, you realize that it is actually a takeover, a monopoly. The United States doesn't really have oil at this point because it still, I think, sucks from the strategic oil reserves in Texas and Alabama or Louisiana, one of these two. I always mix them. Not mix them, I don't know exactly where they are, but I don't. For me, if someone says Louisiana, I know where it's at. When it says and it's Alabama, I know it's at, west of Florida. But other than that, it's that area that for me is like, oh, fuck. And then it's what? The Texas or whatever it is. So the strategic reserves have 714 million barrels, 714 I think, or 713, doesn't really matter. And this Biden administration, because things go so well, sucked it to about right now dry to about 380 or 350. So I know it's more than half over there. And it was, before he started, it was like 600 or something, 600 million. So he dried it and it goes down. So doing this one is going to be more demand on the market. So what are you going to do? Well, they're going to ask us to fight a little bit harder and have a little bit of a bump, negative bump, and keep going down. Why? Well, it serves some interest. So those interests are way ahead of the citizens' interests, because that's the way a country is in a republic with a democratic system of elections and electing their leaders. Garbage. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.